Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to this, your Scorpio, July 2024 reading and forecast. Hi, I'm Nigel St. James, clairvoyant. Well, it's great to see the subscribers back again. I really enjoy seeing you. Truly, I do. You're like my extended family, and I particularly like seeing you. Now, as you folks who have stopped by here before know, I provide over FaceTime and Skype to people all over the world clairvoyant readings, one-on-one, and healing, one-on-one. Healing is for free, no strings attached. Information about those can be found in the description after the video if you choose to look. Now, we are only going to take 5 cards, aren't we? Because 5 is all we need. Because we don't just spend 2 seconds on a card, do we? No, they've got a lot to tell us. They have a lot of insight into what's going on with you, and particularly how the astrology, the numerology, and the mystical energy is swirling around. And we're going to find out what that is right now. So, show me the magic. 5 of Wands. What a great painting on there. 3 of Cups. Superb. There's something really haunting about this art, I think. It's beautiful. 7 of Pentacles in the middle there. What's this say? 10 of Pentacles. Particularly good astrology associated with that, I must say for you. I'm not going to give anything away right now. And there's the Ace of Pentacles to go with it. The Ace, the 7, and the 10 of Pentacles. A lot of abundance and material forward motion, I think, for you this month. But why don't we just hold on, bring the camera around, shall I? You and I can have a good close look at the paintings on these cards together while the energy speaks to us both, and I'll do the reading for you. Now, this is very much a time of spiritual and, soul growth for you. And that does bring up some challenges because you grow through what you've gone through. But you are rewarded with love, with gain, and understanding of the abundance and prosperity that's here and about you. So I'm going to deal with that first, so you are not physically disheartened by the growth that's going on in your soul and why. So let's have a look at this one to start with, because this is a fantastic energy that's here for you. And it says that this is the case for you. Here we have the root of the powers of the earth. Well, this is talking about great success for you, a unification of the body and soul, of the material and the spirit of heaven and earth, in a nutshell, of wholeness for you. There's a new consciousness which is going to arise in you during this time, a very transformative period. But there's a beginning here of something really tangible. Material abundance is in the offing. You're going to get some improvement in your finances, I think, and maybe some unexpected value coming your way. I do think that the people associated with Taurus, Gemini, and Aries are likely to be important for you at this time. Now, this energy that we have here with this, represented by this card, is actually the highest manifestation card that you can find. And it is really bringing the opportunity for you, and the energy, more importantly, to be successful and to experience wealth in your internal self, as well as in your outside material life. And there is here the promise of success and happiness in all of your ventures. This is a gift of physical and spiritual connection here. But that is always available to you, you know. Blending your spiritual ideas with the world of matter, well, that creates something unique to you. And the gift that results from that is of manifestation. Now, what's also coming through here for me is, let's have a look at it closer, is that this is asking you to pay attention to the path that you are walking on. So is your mind, your spirit, your heart, and your body working together in harmony? Take the time to ask, to see, to listen, and to feel. But because this has entered into your life, this cosmic energy, good things are coming to you. The seeds that you have planted, those seeds of your dreams and vision, they begin to blossom into manifestation. So there's good fortune, prosperity, abundance, and security all coming to you. I'm saying that first because there is some growth to occur in the soul, and it's related to Saturn. Now, the conditions now are really good to start new ideas, to believe in yourself, to believe in your projects. And this is bringing good finances here. It really is an energy that is bringing the benefit of your body and soul working in balance, which brings recovery, healing, and well-being. I think this is also indicating for you a relationship that will be long-lasting and continually deepening, I think. However, it's always open to you, of all people, to use anything you wish. And once you realize this, you can continue to grow on the inner level, and you will attain the highest consciousness possible. Now, I think that this is really speaking of you being ready now to live a life that is both inwardly and outwardly rich. All that is needed is already at hand. So give yourself up to the fullness of life and learn to use your wings. Now, what areas of your life would you like to make richer? Work intensively on discovering and developing your potential, your inner wealth, and remain open for every form of enrichment in your life. But say this to yourself: I am in harmony with the flow of nature. Wealth is my natural condition. It allows me to express my spirituality and my creative potential in this world. Now, I wanted to deal with that first because it is saying that do not be discouraged by the process of growth, by the process of walking along your soul contract. Let's have a look at this thing here. Gee. This is someone who's kind of thinking to himself, although I can't see the enemy, I can feel his presence. Well, the astrology of this is Saturn in the first decan of Leo, the 23rd of July to the 2nd of August. Saturn. Saturn is about bringing you back to your soul purpose, about bringing you back to your soul contract so that you can live the life that you're intended to live here on Earth, to attain growth and move on into the next world. The thing with Saturn is, Saturn doesn't allow any negotiation. It doesn't allow any compromises. It doesn't allow you to get out of anything. And it doesn't even tell you when it's coming. It waits, and then it shows up. But it doesn't even tell you why it has arrived. You need to work that out with the benefit of hindsight. Now, here we have Saturn in Leo. Well, Saturn and Leo don't get on. Saturn is the ruler of Aquarius, and Aquarius is diametrically opposed to Leo, ruled by the Sun, on the zodiac wheel, and so they're in opposition with one another in astrological language. Now, Leo wants to be creative and express itself, of course, whereas Saturn is I won't say the strict teacher, but the determined teacher that can very often produce unsettlement. And it wants to say, come back to where you should be, so it sets limits. And Leo is a fire sign, and here it's in the suit of wands, but with the number 5 here, that has an association mystically for me with Mars. Now, Mars is your ruling planet, so I think that this is very good for you. I do not for one moment think that Pluto is your ruling planet. Mars is. And so what might be a problem for a lot of people, I think, is going to be more easily dealt with by you. But what happens is that with all of that fire around Leo, the fire sign, in the fire suit of wands, and with your planet of Mars in the numerology, Saturn kind of comes along, to put it in a picture way. It comes along and sort of wants to rain on the parade. It wants to dampen everything down. So there's a sort of an astrological discord there. The 5 also refers to instability, exaggeration, strife, changes. And I think what we see here is that you might have some feelings of restriction or an unfulfilled desire, almost being fearful of things. There's a sort of a general condition around in which your creative power, as represented by the lion in Leo, is blocked by Saturn, because the free flow of energy is greatly restricted and it starts to stagnate. And this huge charge of energy that's in this suit and in this sign strives desperately to find a possibility to break free. And you might think that life is something of a burden. Now, how this burden can show up is by way of conflict. Because Saturn, if you like, what it does is it causes stress because the material encasing of the soul, Saturn comes along and crystallizes it, so it becomes like shards of glass that stick into your soul, metaphorically, of course. And this can feel as if you are in some conflict or tension. You're competing with somebody for something. But of course, this conflict is positive for you. It enables you to become stronger, to overcome things. Now, this often shows up when you're in competition with someone who has the similar qualities to you, similar experiences to you. It's just as attractive as you are, but in a different sort of a way. And you might face now the fire of competition in love life, work life, as everybody does. And now you'll know what's needed to compete. But you are going to be successful. But the point is, it's about going through this process and what it requires. Now, the danger here is that of kind of, just giving up, resigning yourself. But what Saturn does is it reminds you that all things must be taken care of step by step. So don't let yourself become overwhelmed. Don't take on too many things at the same time. And always look again to the flames in this suit, which are burning on despite any hurdles that you do. But look, seriously, because this has shown up and as your first card that you've drawn, it is definitely a sign that you are ready to face this. You are ready to do something about conflict and things through which you are growing. Now, we'll ask you this. What seemingly insurmountable obstacles seem to stand between you and your goals? Just go step by step. Take everything a little easier and say to yourself, I am strong, I am adaptable. You are definitely adaptable because you have the 3 forms, the hard scorpion, the fluid snake, and the exalted eagle. So you are adaptable, even though you're a fixed sign of water. But you are capable now of overcoming, of being strong and having self-confidence, and of expressing your feelings and your creativity in your work and love life. Now, what often happens also when Saturn comes along is, I notice that Saturn is here too. Saturn here is in the third decan of Taurus, the 11th to the 20th of May. So you are going to probably go through this process of feeling restricted, hesitating. There's a fear of falling even. Saturn in Taurus. Taurus is the slow-moving fixed sign of Earth. You might find that there are delays in some payments coming to you, and what you should be doing is looking for long-term results, no get-rich-quick things. Although there is great gain coming to you, there's a slow but steady growth occurring here. And I think it is the case that you will be working through a dry spell here. Look, there is a fear of making mistakes, perhaps, which is touching. That's that Saturn influence, and you overcome these fears, but there is a fear of making mistakes that touches your business, financial situations, your physical conditions and health, and even your romantic life. And you see apparently insurmountable obstacles in front of you and believe that you can't jump over these at the first try. Persistence. Persistence is the most important thing. Persistence is more valuable than money, learning, background, education. Persistence always wins. So don't draw back. Don't give up. And don't limit your actions to the old, familiar ways of dealing with problems, because Saturn is all about teaching you to grow. Now, negative expectations are a powerful form of thought, which if you water them, whether consciously or unconsciously for long enough, can actually turn into reality, can turn into the situation that you're afraid of. So give yourself a pep talk, understand what is going on as I have explained it, and that this is something which you are growing from and which is for your betterment. So really what you should do is step back and think about the issues. It's not the end of the world or of anything. Now, the other thing that I will say about Saturn is this, is that it does partly give rise to fear, and fear is a big factor in you falling and in delaying your recovery from falls. Now, I will say this, though, in relation to this, and this is something that's coming up. If you have been trying with someone in a relationship setting and you are just not getting back what you need to get from them, cut it, move on. You've got life to live. Never fear the darkness. You know darkness, you've seen it before. Embrace it, own it, and tell it, I own you, you don't own me. So even though you feel that your ability to deal with things might be blocked by heavy and fearful expectations, understand that this is a process and just look at them and see how real they are. And say this to yourself, I am willing to release all that is not serving me in my life. I have the courage to believe that all that happens in my life serves me for the best. But you see, you are rewarded for this period of endurance and persistence and the recognition of what is required for your soul to grow. There's nothing to be afraid of. In fact, you chose all the things that were going to happen to you before you came here. Let's have a look at this Three of Cups. Look at this woman here. Do you know, I find that when I look into the eyes of women, it's as if I can see forever. Here is a raven whispering something to this woman in the shadow of the moon. But this is actually speaking to you of, yeah, you've gone through soul growth, but your life, your external life, is moving along really well. As I pointed out to you right at the start here, because this is speaking of celebration, good times, and a feeling of fulfillment. There's a happiness and joy which is surrounding you. This is very healing, this energy. It might, in the way of the divine, you are tested, but then you are rested and healed. It's also a great bonding energy here that brings very supportive friendships and loving relationships. Now, the way to understand this is to appreciate and grab hold of your joy and good fortune, because it's now time to celebrate what you have accomplished. This is really saying to you, seize the moment, enjoy this precious time. The moment is all you have. You don't have the past, there is no future. It's just the moment. That's now. So enjoy everything. Live. Swim in the sea. Bask in the sun. Breathe the air. Listen to the birds. It's about sharing things with you. The sun is really shining on your path, and your life truly is blessed at the moment. This is bringing you success. I think you're tying off a few things as well as a result of that process, getting rid of those things that no longer serve you and are a drain or a brake upon you living your true life. A lot of fertility around here, so don't be surprised if you hear of pregnancy or of a birth. Look, you're just going to feel good. There's a lot of joy and happiness and laughter here. And appreciate your friends. Share their loves and successes and honor them for them. Now, the astrology of this is, what would that be? Would be Mercury in Cancer. The second decade of Cancer, the 2nd to the 11th of July. Well, Cancer is really, in a sense, the most motherly, the most nurturing of signs, really. And Mercury is the planet of intellect and of communication. Mercury here is providing you with willpower and the ability to communicate, and it's sitting in Cancer, which is about nurturing, so you can really express your feelings fully with people that you are close to and with whom enrich your life. Now, the love that's represented here, I think, is of the highest order, and it's available to be shared with only a small circle of people. I think that there's probably 3 people with whom you can communicate now. Tell them that you love them. No one ever took badly someone saying that they loved them. Nobody did. Because you now have something really special and valuable to share. So be open to the people that you can share these exquisite feelings with. Those people are also a gift, you know. You don't need to look for them. Now, are there any people close to you that you have not outwardly expressed the love that you feel for them? You can now give whatever you'd like to now in full awareness of your boundless riches. There's a birth of an idea here, a goal. It's a good time to boost the morale of other people and also to give yourself a pep talk and tell yourself, program yourself that you are lovable, successful, and deserve abundance. And say to yourself, today life gives me everything that I need to be happy. Well, I see Mercury around again here. It's featuring for you. And I see Mercury here in Virgo. Mercury in Virgo is what I'm getting up from it. Well, this is interesting. That's a feat of engineering to build a castle on top of the clouds. Well, Mercury in Virgo is actually very good because Mercury, as you probably know, is the ruler of Virgo, and it is also exalted in Virgo. So you will have great communication skills from Mercury, which we saw somewhere here, there with Mercury up here in this 3, and you'll have good organizational ability as a result of the Virgo influence here. So when you put together great communication and great organization, you just can't help but get success and abundance. There is an inner and outer richness here, and an ability to make your inner wealth visible and to share it with others. It could be a supportive and tight-knit family. This is very good for people involved in family businesses here. And there's also the sense of great sense of you feeling quite prosperous, I think. Yeah, sometimes it can refer to, not you I don't think, but sometimes it can refer to someone who has accumulated riches but nothing else. They have not developed their heart or their soul. But you have attracted to you everybody who is a part of your life. You understand that. You have created every situation in your life before you came here, and you create your own reality. Life is what you think it is. Now, the wealth is in your hands now to do what you want. The responsibility is yours, and remember that you are endlessly wealthy. Do you know about your inner wealth? I think you've seen it coming through here. You understand the process and the reason for it. Write down on a piece of paper, all the qualities which you think make up your inner riches. And say this to yourself, because it is definitely true for you now, that I am internally and externally rich and free and enjoy everything thankfully and in surrender. What a fantastic set of energies around you, and you did a great job. I'm sure you enjoyed that reading as much as I enjoyed providing it to you, and wasn't the artwork on the cards actually quite haunting and beautiful, don't you think? Yeah, I don't know what I'd done with this deck. I'd lost it for a number of years, and I just found it yesterday. So I want to use it. Now, unless I see you again, unless I see you privately for a clairvoyant reading or for a healing, then I'll see you here again in the same place next month. So until I do see you again, remember one thing, and it is this, that you are a legend. And I look forward to seeing you again next month. And until then, it's bye for now.